come on then, you lad. Why am I surrounded by everybody? We can't be doing this. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Oh, God. There's too many of them. And you're dead. Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord has been through so many changes, and this is the one that I have been waiting for. Everybody knows of 1.8. It is no surprise that it has been in the works for quite some time, adding in some of the biggest changes to the game to this date. Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ on a wheelchair. Yet as 1.8 goes into beta, everybody's looking at all the new features. Whether it is the better modding support, or whether it is some better troop deployments or troop spawning. There's so much there to get our hands on. And don't get me wrong, I've been really enjoying it, but there's still been something left, something that I've kind of missed. But now it looks like it's finally coming. My God, that guy just saved my life there. Thank you, my friend. Whoa! Ow! Oh! Oh God! Oh Jesus! Ah! Oh! Ugh. And it is this what I want to show you. Loading up our regular Bannerlord game, you of course have the launcher. The launcher brings in everything from choosing between single player, multiplayer, and of course with the single player you can choose what mods you want to activate. That's something that's nothing new. It's been in the game for quite a while now. However, now loading up the 1.8 beta, we get a new addition. You see, everybody's been paying attention to every other detail, but not the actual small pieces. And this is where multiplayer modding seems to be coming into fruition. And then we look deeper. You see, now we have mods added to the multiplayer tab of Bannerlord's 1.8 beta, but it goes further than that, because in the recent 1.8 patch notes, the modding API has been added and ready to be installed. This means that we're going to get full custom servers with full custom mods within them. And if anybody who hasn't been around the Mount & Blade warband modding scene for some time might not quite understand how big of a deal this is. Mad how I'm getting these hits without using the reticle. I should be recruited into the Mount & Blade Olympics. Look at this. Okay, I missed. Okay, that's embarrassing. Mount & Blade Warband's multiplayer mods were incredible. You had things like CRPG, which was a complete RPG system separate to Mount & Blade itself. You'd hop onto a website, you'd make your character, you'd choose the skills you want, and you'd choose your basic armor. Then you'd go into Mount & Blade battles. The more kills you got, the more XP you got, the better equipment you could purchase later on. It was all on its own third-party website, but it was translated perfectly into Mount & Blade itself. And then we have Persistent World, a complete open world mod for Mount & Blade Warband as well. It put players into clans, each owning their own city and factions, training up as a serf, a blacksmith, a lord, even becoming a soldier in the army, going to war with other clans, and this went on for years. Persistent World was one of the biggest mods ever, and it was the mod that actually gave me my start on YouTube. It was the mod that really started to get views on this channel. I still think Persistent World is going to this day, which it blows my mind. We also had things like Full Invasion 2, next level when it came to scale for Mount & Blade Warband. All the players now would not be fighting against each other, but on the same side against bots. It would be waves and waves, getting harder and harder with boss fights, boss rounds in different maps and different time eras. And when I say different time eras, my God, do I mean it. There were hundreds as it got to the later versions of Full Invasion 2. I mean, you could have Lord of the Rings, you could have World War II, you could have the 300 Spartans versus the Persians, you could have basic Mount & Blade but fighting against zombies. It would go on and on and on. It would actually inspire many standalone mods, such as the Romans from Full Invasion 2 would then go on to have their own multiplayer mods like Mount & Gladius, March of Rome, all having their own multiplayer battles within the game itself. There is still to this day nothing quite like those multiplayer mods for Mount & Blade Warband. Some of the biggest clans came from them. Mount & Blade's biggest DLC ever, Napoleonic Wars, which was one of the biggest reasons for its rise to success and fame, came from the Mount & Musket mod, a multiplayer conversion to the Napoleonic Wars, and this was all off the back of that modding API, that same modding API that is now coming to Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. Look, I get it. Maybe you're not interested in multiplayer. There'll be a lot of people that will be commenting on this video, I'm sure of it, that will be saying, who cares? It's just multiplayer mods. But what you don't understand is this offers so much more when it comes to additions for content within the game itself, even within some single player aspects. You see, multiplayer mods for Warband also had big effects on single player mods, whether it was just modders working together to use different assets that were being made across total modifications, or whether whether it was people being brought to the game that would increase the modding community, that would help with those single player mods as well. But what's more, we already have Bannerlord Online, an incredibly successful MMO mod for Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord, bringing that mix between single and multiplayer, something that I think would bridge the gap between those people that say they're not interested in multiplayer, but perhaps would be interested in a multiplayer version of the single player. We also have the Bannerlord co-op model that's in development, but is slowed down a lot due to the lack of this modding API. And that's one of the biggest and most requested things that Bannerlord has had, full stop. I remember in development, all people were asking, Tailworlds, are you going to add in co-op? They said they'd try and do it, but it never really came into fruition. It might still come in the future in some official version, but it's not looking all that likely. Yet now, we have modders taking that mantle. And as you can see, they're doing such a fantastic job with it. And it blows my mind that this has even slightly become possible, all through the basic modding tools that we have so far. But what happens when they add modding API for the multiplayer? What happens when the multiplayer modding community reaches the same level as the single player? They will cross over in such a big way to increase the content and success that this game has already received. And I, for one, cannot wait. I love this horse exodus. Guys, this is a lot of food we're letting get away here. We should probably take some of this. We might be able to do something with it. In total, Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord is growing bigger and bigger. This was the next thing that I was really looking forward to. We already have custom battles that have started to come into the game, and whilst they haven't fully released, with custom modding tools with 1.8, it looks like that will be the moment that we get custom servers for multiplayer. That's going to add so much more, growing the community, which will inherently grow the single player, even if multiplayer isn't your cup of tea. So it's definitely something that you should be paying attention to and keeping an eye out for. But let me know what you think. Do you think that this is good news? Is this something that you've been waiting for some time? And even if you're not all that interested in the multiplayer factors of the game, can you see the possibilities that this could bring to Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord? I for sure can. But until then, I will see you in the next one.